I'm Ensign Navarro. Welcome to VOST.
I'm Ensign Hamilton. Thanks for dropping in today. Welcome to the RP66 Kodiak, the newest addition to the VOST fleet. We got this boat about 2 months ago in a very generous donation from a civilian donor. So Ensign Navarro and I are going to take a little tour of the boat today, show you around.
Welcome to the bow. As I said, welcome to the bow. Everything forward of that mast belongs to the bowman, the mastman, or any of the bow crew. As you can see, we have a ton of halyards. That's the bowman's only job. We don't win races, we can only lose them, or that's at least what the back of the boat people will tell you. So, the bowman is a pretty difficult yet rewarding job. We put sails up, we set spinnakers, and we pretty much fix anything that breaks. Oh. So if you want to be a bowman, you're gonna have to learn which one of these, and then we'll go over here, goes to which one of these.
And yes, you can be colorblind and be a bowman.
As the name implies, the RP66 is 66 feet in length.
So Ensign Navarro has showed you about the bow a little bit, but now, welcome to the back of the boat. The back of the boat's a pretty big term. It's basically for the drivers, the tactician. The tactician's the guy who calls the shots, calls the tactics. And we've got everything from winches and trimmers. So the back of the boat is a very interesting place. It's very different than the bow. The combination of the drivers, the trimmers, and the grinders is really the gas pedal of the boat. They are the people that make the boat go fast, and they're the ones that can lose races just as easily. So coming over here, we have 3 pedestals on the RP66. We have one pedestal, which is designed to power the winch for the main sheet itself. And we have 2 winches and pedestals right here, which are for the jib sheets and trimming the jib. What's pretty slick about this boat is we can connect these pedestals in parallel if we want to put all the power to one of these winches, or we can use them independently, so one for each winch. It really depends on wind conditions and everything that's going on. You can see there's a ton of lines up front that are running back, and those are kind of a combination of the responsibility of some of the bowmen, the mastmen, and some of the guys in the back of the boat. When this boat is fully rigged, there's so many lines that if you step on this boat without actually trying to learn what you're doing, it's going to be a very, very confusing place. So I think that's what's really cool about working in the back of the boat as a trimmer, even as a grinder, as a driver, as a tactician, is that it's very not intuitive. I was a jib trimmer for most of my time on the team, and personally I really enjoyed that. I think that trimming sails is really cool because it is an art and it's not a science. You can have one trimmer who trims slightly differently and they might have a faster boat than somebody else. So it is really cool getting to trim a sail, understanding the shape, what exactly you're looking for, and then understanding, what 6 different control lines you have and how they interact with one another. And that's one thing that's really cool about VOST is it allows you to be able to combine a multitude of information to accomplish one goal. So we've been up top. Let's go ahead and check out the below decks on the yacht here. Welcome to the kitchen here on the RP66 Kodiak. As you can tell, we only have the most first-class cooking facilities here on board. Allows us to make a lot of shrimp, a lot of lobster, a lot of veal, steak, a lot of sous vide even maybe. And so we eat pretty good here on the yacht. So actually when we got Kodiak, you can tell that this space is kind of closed. There was a load-bearing column and wall here, but we took that out for a more open and feng shui atmosphere, which allows the crew to feel more connected, especially when you're offshore and tensions are getting a little high. So we've seen the galley here, but what I really want to show you is the master bath. So what's pretty cool about the RP66 here is open up the master bath. Check out how big this thing is. This is like a room in and of itself. Even look at the carbon fiber sink. It's beautiful. It's so fast. Look, it's sitting here standing still and it looks fast. Welcome to some of our bow storage area. It's where we keep a lot of our miscellaneous lines. Most of these would be rigged as we were racing. Keep a lot of the sails you're about to use right here so they can go up easily through the hatch, or even some of the ones you're not. So I like to kind of call this our armory on board. It's where we keep the guns. It's where we take down the bad guys, if you know what I mean.
Here in offshore sailing, we take safety very seriously. If you've ever been in the mid-Atlantic at 2 a.m., it's pitch dark and the wind is howling at 30 knots, you're going to want to put on one of these bad boys. Tethers are used to navigate the boat safely in high winds, stormy seas, or pretty much any time after dark.
Welcome to the game room. You can tell we got our nice sweet carbon fiber chair here for when we're out there playing. But seriously, this is our nav desk here aboard the RP-66. One of the really cool things about learning how to sail offshore is not only handling the boat, but learning how to successfully navigate, but then competitively navigate against boats who are trying to actively beat you. So we have a ton of ammunition up here, which can provide the tactician and the skipper with everything they need to win races. On this boat alone, we have incredible amounts of satellite communications, high-frequency radio, VHF radio, chart plotters. We have iPads interface, and also the navigator/tactician would also have a laptop that sits down here and it interfaces into all of the electronics on the boat and allows him to kind of see a 20,000-foot picture of what the boat is doing.
Alright guys, as I said earlier, my name's Ensign Navarro. I'm headed down to flight school in Pensacola after this. 4-year VOST veteran. Like many other on the team, I had no prior sailing experience. Honestly, one of my favorite memories from this team was after navigating across the mid-Atlantic with nothing but a sextant and some star charts, seeing the glow of Bermuda as we finished the Marion to Bermuda race.
Hey, Zach Bauer. I just commissioned in the Marine Corps. I'm second lieutenant. Going to head down to Quantico for the basic school come September 8th. Before I came to VOST, grew up in powerboats, never had any experience sailing. Picked it up because of my roommate, Plebe Summer. Best call I ever made at the academy. It's a great team, a lot of fun. You get really cool opportunities, travel, all sorts of things. My favorite experience, I sailed on the TV52 and FAR 40. Did a lot of buoy racing over the summers and 44 racing in the falls. Favorite memory though is probably winning U.S. Offshore Championship with a boat full of firsties last fall. It was a good time, a lot of fun. So join the team.
Howdy, I'm Matt McClain. I'm from Georgia. I grew up sailing, never raced until I came here. I'm commissioning SWO. I'll be going to BDOC in November. The offshore sailing team is awesome, and I was on Wahoo for many, many summers, and I enjoyed every minute of it, but one of my favorite memories is winning the U.S. Offshore Championship with a boat full of firsties. We had a blast.
I'm Hayden Kuemcke. I grew up in Ligonier, Pennsylvania. I didn't sail growing up, but the academy provided me with the perfect chance to learn, and over the past 4 years, I've done some pretty sweet things. I've gone to Bermuda, I've sailed from here to Newport, raced in the Block Island Race Week, and actually last summer I spent aboard Ranger here where I had some of my favorite memories on the team. For instance, I'll never forget the lights of Newport coming out of the fog as we finished our couple-day trip up the eastern seaboard. Anyways, the team's awesome. I've met great guys on it, and it's probably the most impactful thing I've done at the academy, all told.
So we already mentioned the RP-66 Kodiak, and here she is in all of her beauty. But we have tons and tons of different training platforms here on VOST. So panning over here to our J133 Wasp. She is also very new to us. We're moving even farther here. We have Wahoo, she's a Curve 50. Also a twin helm setup with a pedestal. And then moving even farther left, we have Ranger, which is one of our 2 FAR 40s. And we can see the other FAR 40 is on the far side of the dock. And moving even farther over, we can see we have our awesome fleet of 44s and 2 J105s that are parked over there, the red hull and the white hulled boat.
Here we have the VOST N26s. This is where you'll start your career on JVOST unless you have a lot of experience coming in. This is where you learn tactics, basics of sail trim, rules of the road. If you don't know it, we'll teach you. You'll go from knowing nothing to knowing pretty much everything about the boats you'll be able to sail later on in your summers.
Now I know you'll have some experience sailing the Colgates because you'll have your 2 Plebe sailing trainings during the summer. But what we do is a little bit different with these Colgates. These are a different boat than the ones that you have been sailing. Have really slick, nice bottom paint. We use things called tiller extensions. And we also fly a big sail in the front of the boat called a spinnaker, which you were not exposed to yet. It's an awesome platform, 26 feet long, plenty of room to learn. They are fast, they are competitive, and no, they're not a full-blown race boat, but they're the perfect place to get your feet wet into tactics. And I still love sailing them with my friends to this day. So as I mentioned earlier, we have 2 of our J105 boats right here. We have 3 in total, but only 2 are at the docks right now. These are mostly used for training in the fall semester when we do local races for the Annapolis Yacht Club and stuff like that on the weekends. An awesome training platform. They fly an asymmetrical spinnaker, but we do not take them offshore for summer blocks.
Welcome to the venerable 44s. These things have served VOST well for years. They're kind of like an El Camino. You can beat them, you can take them out to sea, beat them up in storms, and they will get you to your destination safe every time. I've taken one of these things to Bermuda 3 times, raced on them in the fall 2 years. They're great, they're awesome to learn on. You can take skills you've learned on these guys and take them to pretty much any other boat you'll sail. Like when you retire, like me and the other ensigns, you can take your experience and you can take it with you to your duty station and continue to sail if you wish.
So another one of the really cool things about the offshore team is the amount of leadership experience that you are exposed to. Casey and I were a team when we skippered a 44 and took her to Bermuda and also up to Newport, Rhode Island. And in my experience, it was the coolest and most humbling thing I've done at the Academy because I learned so much about myself, my own leadership style, that of the people who I was working with, and then working with an awesome peer like Ensign Navarro over here. So I think that's what's really, really cool about our team is not only is the sailing and the racing awesome, but learning to work in these small groups and you get to make real important decisions your entire time as a skipper or XO on one of these boats.